So you were saying that you were trying to find a job and something interesting happened with your most recent interview?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where when I was looking for jobs when I was first coming out of school, I was very desperate to find something, and I was extremely nervous that I wasn't going to find something, and I really wanted to have a job before I graduated. There was a and I realized this very quickly after I started looking, is that when companies are really eager, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, because they have a high turnover rate.
A high turnover rate, but it also means that they're probably like when they want me more than I want them. That's a really bad sign. That's a bad sign for most things in life.
Yes.
Yeah,
I really if it's too easy or convenient, I'm
really only looking for like unavailable women and unavailable jobs.
Exactly.
So but this current job, they like reached out to me on Indeed or something like that, and it was like a personalized message. Usually it's kind of like whatever scripted one. Yeah. They're like oh, like apply for our job, which is just like them using some whatever tool to just like scoop up everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
That looks like they might be all right. This one reached out to me and they're like, oh, hey, we tried calling, just like we would love to talk to you. And I was like, love to talk to me? Fine, yeah, sure, I'm flattered.
Yeah.
Set up a phone call for today at 2 p.m. I was looking into the company stuff, and all anyone was saying was that the hours were like impossible hours. It was like 12 hours a day, like 6 days a week.
And you weren't getting paid that much?
It was an insane amount of cold calling.
Oh,
and it was like a sales job, and I was
disgusting.
I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm doing that. And then I was on the call with her, and she was really nice. I mean, clearly like a whatever, trying to like recruit me under her wing or whatever.
Yeah, she's mid tier. She's trying to get up to that high tier.
It wasn't an MLM, but
it's getting there.
Listen, I've been through a pyramid scheme. I got to like 3 interviews with a pyramid scheme.
Really?
At that point, like I realized after the first interview that it was a pyramid scheme, but I was having so much fun.
Okay, fair enough.
Just the during the pyramid scheme interviews, they like I walk in and there's a whole bunch of like kids like my age, maybe a little even like fresh new graduates and stuff like that, like wearing like really cheap suits, but like full suits, like hair slicked back, like
Primark suits,
kind of, but like trying to be like ultra like really like smooth guys. Like you've seen the dudes that are like trading like Forex and stuff like that on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like the douchebags.
You can't be suave in an $80 suit, man.
I walked in and there was like 1,000. There was probably 24 people there, and it was super early in the morning. And I had left like my then girlfriend. Oh my god, was it like our anniversary or her birthday or something like that the night before? But I got a message in the morning saying, "Hey, can you come in a couple hours?" And I saw it at like 7 a.m. and like I had an interview at like 9:30. I was so eager for this job back then because I didn't have one yet.
Was this like when you were like 18, 19?
No, it was like May before I graduated. It was like May 2019.
Oh, before you graduated.
Yeah,
okay.
I was like scrambling trying to find a job.
Yeah.
And I went all the way up to Malden. It's in Malden Center. It took me like an hour and a half to get there in the sweltering heat. I'm wearing a full suit as soon as I walk in. I was like, there's something's wrong about this. As soon as they sent me down, they wouldn't tell me what they did. And like that's like the number one thing with like an MLM or a pyramid scheme. They just won't tell you what they do.
Yeah.
And every time I kept asking, I kept getting like a little more prodding. Where like they were like, oh, so like sales opportunities, and she's like, oh my god, you have so many sales opportunities. You own a region, and I was like, a region? I was like, what's a region? She's like, well, there are a lot of Walmart. I mean, there are a lot of locations, and like the job that I was applying for, and I was blowing through these interviews on. Honestly, I was meeting with like the head of the whole company by the third thing, who was like 28, went to like whatever school, UNH.
Yeah, Arizona State.
Yeah, he went to Arizona State, and he was like, oh, bro, yo, it's sick here, bro. Like, you're gonna love it. And I was like, uncapped earning potential, which is like awesome, which means like you only make commission.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And I figured out that the job was selling like Comcast at like BJ's and Walmart's.
Seems like a weird,
like have you ever been to like a Six Flags and they're trying to sell you like Verizon?
Yeah, for some reason.
Like I was one. I would have been one of those.
Oh,
you would have been like
those people.
But I would have been an account executive.
You would have been.
Don't you dare forget that title.
A Girl Scout, but hawking cable instead of cookies.
Absolutely, and you know how badly people want to buy cable at Six Flags.
Can I be honest? This is like the same thing where it's like I don't understand how people in the kiosks in malls make money. I think I've maybe seen a few people go up to them. There were actually
the dudes selling like phone cases and shit.
I see those all the time. I'm like, how do you, if you sell, you have to sell like 20 an hour, but I barely see more than one customer there. Like when we worked in the mall we worked at.
Prudential, yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it. Yeah, the Pru. like those kiosks. I never saw anyone at any of those.
No, I was walking through there a couple weeks ago,
And they were like
still
the
nobody.
heart card ones. I knew one. One of the friends worked at Iconopop, or not Iconopop. It's
Yeah, the pop up card things.
the pop-up cards, and they're like
Iconopop.
What I no, I was like, it's definitely a band. And he's like, yeah, I don't understand how I'm making money because he wasn't commissioned.
I think it's a pyramid scheme. Or not a pyramid scheme. I think it's like
or-
like a money laundering.
That's what he
From
was
the
like
mob,
when he was
yeah.
talking. He was like, it pretty much seems like because he
It's
said
a,
I
it's a
get.
racket selling
He's told me
really
he's-
expensive
yeah.
pop up paper cards.
He told me he sold like 10 an hour, and I'm like, how is that profitable? He's like, it's not.
It's,
I don't know.
yeah. No, there's so many jobs like that where it's like there's stores on like Newbury Street, like really expensive street in Boston. And the stores are so specialized. It's like an olive oil store.
Yes.
And it's like I've never seen anybody go in there. I'm sure it's a great olive oil store, but I mean, how much olive oil do you have to push to make sure that you meet rent every month?
I think with those,
On Newbury Street,
with
of all
those,
places.
with those Newbury stores, I think a lot of the places, they're like owned by someone who does most of their sales online, and then they're just like, oh, this is our flagship store on Newbury Street. Boston.
That's a good point. There are a lot of those like luxury stores that are usually abandoned and stuff.
Right.
Like
so
the luxury boutique type stores where I think they do a lot of stuff on whatever
right,
online.
They don't have the stores, so people go in. They have the store to say, "Oh, this is our
But
flagship."
the
Like,
thing
no,
with
man.
that is Newbury Street doesn't seem inexpensive. It seems
No, it's
rather expensive.
right, but-
probably the most expensive street for real estate,
But if-
for like retail real estate.
if you have like
in Boston,
if you
Oh,
have-
for sure.
If you have like a bespoke company, and you say like, "Oh, like I got, we have a flagship on Newbury Street." Like that's some good, credibility.
No, I
Yes.
get that. I guess it's credibility, but it's just weird to me. It's like, I don't know. The store we worked at closed after being open for 100 and
it's
some
like
odd-
100 years at the same location.
Oh,
or
that's right.
something
They
like that.
celebrated their 100th while we were there.
Yeah,
And I don't understand like how it was 3 stories, and it was a
And they
lot of
paid
square
rent.
foot, and they paid
they
rent.
paid like $3 or $4 million in rent every year.
well, yeah, which was,
Every year.
which is weird because I always looked at how much our store was making,
It
and
wasn't that much.
I'm like, there's no way.
It was but no, that all that stuff. I have no idea how any of those stores stay open. I don't know how most stores stay open. If you're
Yeah.
like a boutique store, even like just like a small restaurant, I don't know how you stay open.
Oh, you don't even know about the bullshit about getting a liquor license in this state.
Oh no, it's impossible. Possible.
Well, they get bought up by like holding companies, and you gotta lease them for like $500,000 a year.
I just saw a hot dog stand one where it's the same thing in New York City where for the most popular ones it's an auction, and there's one near the Central Park Zoo that sold most recently for $240,000, and the guy did a calculations how many hot dogs you'd have to sell per hour working 360 days or 365 days, and he's like, you'd have to make like 15 or like I think it was like 18 hot dogs an hour, which is one every 3 minutes for 12 hours a day to I think break even. And I'm like, what? I'm like, how is someone also making? I guess you buy multiple hot dogs is the way. I always think of someone buying one hot dog
I don't
and it's
know.
20 people, but I've never seen someone come out of Zoo and big. You know what I really want? 5 hot dogs right now.
You ever had a cart dog?
I have. I
No,
have
I-
probably been violently ill from it.
I never
Legendary.
had.
You got violently ill from the cart dog?
Yes, I had it once in Boston though.
I got a cart dog in London. They put it in a baguette. It was delicious.
I had a client who owned an ice cream truck one time.
Who ordered an ice cream truck?
He owned an ice cream truck.
He owned an ice cream truck.
Yeah, he was a client. He was my old client at Brooks, and he was like, "Hey, if you want anything, it's like it was like Mr. Frosty trucks."
There
he,
you go,
he
buddy.
gave me a business card. He wrote his name on it. It was like any Mr. Frosty you want. he's like you can have whatever you want. Anything off the top shelf. Even one of those SpongeBob ice cream.
I
gotta get the
I
SpongeBob.
loved the people I worked
the
with.
SpongeBob where like one gumball's like melted like into his cheek.
Yeah.
just like
Yeah, one
it's
of
like-
them's on his fucking.
I love
shit
that when
down here.
clients hooked me up with good opportunities, and they'd be like, "Oh, come to my restaurant" or something like that. I'd be like, "Oh, sick! Yeah, I'll do that." And yeah, I've just always liked those good opportunities. And speaking of good opportunities, welcome back, Bachelor.
That was a long
Episode
cold one.
3.
I
That
was
was.
trying to figure out how to bring it back, and then every time I thought about it, I was like, there's no way.
Well, we have opportunities, like I was talking with my clients, for these women to meet up and engage with Matt. So
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Man, this-
I like how you
This is
did
a
that.
podcast, man. You got to be more flashy than that.
Yeah, that's what we're known for.
yeah,
It's
in our
all about
It's
the
our
dim
flash.
flash.
purple light.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why you
we,
guys-
we have a lot of flash.
That's why I'm here. I'm here to bring the flash.
Oh God. But yeah. So this episode,
was crazy.
crazy. I'd say it's the first episode I've actually been engaged with.
Same.
All season.
After like 25 minutes, 30 minutes after the slam poetry, because I couldn't. I
It's slam
refused
poetry, man.
to.
It wasn't slam poetry.
It was erotica.
It was
erotica.
erotica.
Well, you know what I'm
It
talking
was getting
about.
slammed poetry.
Oh, I love that one.
Ba-boom.
But I couldn't. My hands were on my eyes for so much of that.
Yeah, why
It
couldn't
was-
you guys can't deal with the squeamy stuff.
Squeamy stuff. It's very
not-
uncomfortable.
It-
It
'cause those
wasn't. They weren't getting like their like amputated from the knee down. Like
Yeah.
It wasn't like squeamish. It was like secondhand embarrassment, which I have a bunch of.
Yeah.
Because I'm a very shameful person.
I didn't.
I
Think it
feel a
was
lot
that
of
bad.
shame very often.
I feel yeah.
And when other people do things that would make me feel ashamed and they aren't ashamed, I feel ashamed for them.
See, I
pick up all their shame and I stuff it in my pockets.
I have like similar, but the thing is, I would probably be doing that, and I wouldn't feel any embarrassment. But I feel embarrassed for them, so it's almost like because I don't feel any when I do.
because you're not
stupid
able
stuff
to do
You're a
it.
sociopath. How do you?
No, because here's the thing. I feel like I feel double the embarrassment because I don't have any, and
He's a
I take
sociopath.
on other people's embarrassment. Because here's the thing: is I feel like I'd get really into it because it's either because they have to do it, so you have to own it. That's the whole thing. If you go up there and you like half-ass or whatever, they're gonna be like, "What are you doing?" You have to enjoy it if you're forced into something.
What was more uncomfortable, this erotica thing for you, or when they did the music challenge last the Tasha music challenge thing
Which one was the music challenge one?
when they all had like make a song?
Oh, I'd say that because I feel like that was
people
more
doing music.
because they're not talented.
People doing music makes me so uncomfortable, like beyond belief. And I don't have a profound amount of music talent, but I hate when people that aren't talented. This sounds horrible.
If you're not drunk and doing karaoke,
I hate. Yeah, karaoke's a different story. Fuck
Yeah.
it. Like no, these people are like actually trying and like writing music, pouring out their souls and stuff like that. I hate when people write songs when they're not good at it. It makes me feel really. It sounds really horrible to say that I like hate when people like follow their dreams and do what they like, but when it's when it's bad, it's bad.
I mean,
yeah.
you're entitled to not like something.
I know, but I don't like it on the whole. Like I don't like most people trying things when they're not good at them.
I mean, most.
Well, that's a little bit different. than
I
just
hate
singing.
when people go outside of their comfort zone and try to better
I
themselves
mean,
as people.
mo-
That's horrible.
Says the guy
I
that
was
started a podcast.
I was gonna
Said the guy who
say-
tried to snowboard last week.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't think most people in the top 40 know anything about writing songs.
Okay, all right. We're not gonna take shots at the entire American top 40.
You guys want the Flash? The Flash is here.
I don't know what that is.
No.
I don't even know why I tried to inquire. Let's go on to the next thing. So anyway,
Uh,
the first 3 minutes were the tough part. After that, when the drama it started to ensue,
Mhm.
was when it got super interesting for me, and I couldn't stop watching.
Well, did it have anything to do like when they were all reading their erotica? Was there anything that like led into it, like that into the drama at all?
No.
It was
so,
just after that.
Yeah, so it was the people at there got the group date. This is after it was known. So after the roast summary at the start, then there was the pick.
because Marilyn got eliminated
Yes.
and Victoria stayed.
Yes,
Right.
which is crazy.
Uh-huh.
And then they picked the Serena for the single date, and then they did the group date poetry thing. Afterwards, they then went on like their group date one-on-ones, and that was when Katie was with Matt 101
Right.
and Sarah, right?
Yeah.
No,
Sarah-
you're getting the timeline messed up.
It doesn't. No. But it's. I can still follow it.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Ha-
He was got. I think you're. I don't. Even if your timeline was a little off, I think I remember. But you were. It was
That's the order of events, though, right?
kind of. Yeah. I think it was. I don't even remember.
No,
but
they did the group date, then the one-on-one, and the group date.
No.
were-
I
don't think you know what one-on-one
I
is.
wasn't saying one-on-ones. They did the group date, but they each have
they had like
one-on-one time.
they had like their alone time with
Never
Matt.
mind.
Okay,
on
so
the group
so
date.
it was different. I
Sorry.
should have said they're.
Confusing.
I was following you.
Yeah, see, I don't know
I would
how
just
to-
call it alone time.
How
Just
else
call it
would I
alone
have
time.
said that?
Just call it alone time.
Their alone time during the group date with Matt. And when Katie was doing her alone time with Matt, Sarah,
Who
Game.
wasn't even on the group
who
date?
wasn't even on the group date,
What
and
a
and who had
bitch.
a separate fully one-on-one full day date last week,
Goddamn
interrupted
right
Katie,
she did.
and they did not like that.
The homie was into it though.
Matt was so into. I mean, he was Frenching her. Wow, that was all right. So I'll keep going with the timeline because this is important to the story.
Yeah.
So after that, Katie goes back. Katie is then saying, "Yeah, Sarah interrupted my date," and everyone is pushing her to go back, which I would have given a little bit more time. The way they edited it, it felt like she went back almost immediately or within like 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, I didn't like the other people pushing her to do something like that because she seemed kind of uncomfortable, even though she didn't like it. It's just kind of like, I don't know if it's serious or not. It's always better to err on the side of caution, right? But I get she wanted alone time. And then she goes back, and they're basically like, oh, hold on, wait another second. She waits behind him. Another 5 minutes go by. She comes by, says something again, sits down. And then after Matt and Sarah are done, they get up. Matt walks her out and makes out with her like 10 feet from Katie.
Yeah.
Like, but not even like a little kiss.
She was caught in the splash zone.
It was like Frenching for 10 seconds. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Exactly.
Don't.
Exactly like that. And so then
I hope
after
it wasn't
that,
like
please
that. That
don't
would
live
hurt.
smack
so
into
after
somebody.
that was when all the drama ensued. So someone else can can start talking about, because we can talk about the Katie thing, or when Victoria went out to Sarah. However, whatever you guys want to.
Yeah, so
start with.
so Sarah ended up going back downstairs afterwards and like ran into all the girls downstairs
And address the problem.
addressed the
ahead of it.
problem. So like, hey, I just want to talk to Matt. We had stuff to discuss. I've got personal shit going on. I just want to talk to him about stuff.
They laid into her a little bit then.
They laid into her. Yeah, it was
A
like
little
a
then.
little. It was enough to make her cry and leave.
Yes, that's correct. She walked outside.
It was enough to make her cry and leave.
little
So
bit,
when she
guys.
cried and left, Victoria chased her down and was like so fake. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, no, we are such good friends. Like, like we are on the same page, like for sure.
Yes.
Like
yes.
yes, we are. Oh my god. And they started talking or whatever. Katie comes out from the top rope.
From the top rope, like
just
a
like
tag
ready to
team.
suplex Sarah into the pavement. She goes and but that whole interaction was just like such a precursor to kind of how
yeah.
much further it was taken out of context. I was really looking forward to Katie versus Sarah for this entire season.
Me as well.
I
thought it
wanted
was
to
be
see
good.
that more.
But
Yeah, I mean, fucking yeah, Sarah left.
Sarah ended up leaving, but there
Mhm.
were some things before that is crazy that I
Yeah.
felt happened. Because I was like, okay, Sarah did wrong. She addressed it, which makes it a little bit a little bit less wrong for me. I feel like she acknowledged, but the thing was, every other girl didn't know what had been discussed with Matt. It could have been serious, which it ended up being some serious stuff with her family.
Did
they're
she mention
dead.
that to Matt the first time?
I think she didn't mention it.
I didn't even hear
She-
her conversation
She
with Matt.
hinted at it with Matt, but she was more addressing her insecurities at that point in time
Right.
because of the one-on-one.
That's right.
Very much like, I think at that point in time, because we later found out it was about her dad, and I think I didn't properly hear. I thought he had like limited
I think
time
he's
left.
sick. Yeah, I think he's
Yeah,
sick.
and so I think her going to the show was with already like a little bit too emotional, and so she was just kind of. She wasn't all there to be started dating, I guess.
Yeah.
And in that situation. So what happened was,
then everybody shat upon her.
yes. So after the whole Katie thing happened outside, she was crying. And then the next day when she came to, I believe, sit down, was it with them?
Yeah.
She came down when they were announcing the
Well, no, she was like
the
in her
next-
room by herself like the whole time.
She was for a while, for almost the whole day, but then
Yeah.
she came back.
right
Yeah.
when they were announcing like the one-on-one or the group date or something like that.
I think it was, I don't remember actually. I think it might have been the one-on-one. Some of
He
this.
was announcing the one-on-one. Yeah.
Because all this happened after the one-on-one or during the one-on-one, everyone else. So they all basically tore into her, and even went on to saying, as we all mentioned, which was like, the rest of your time here is basically going to be a living hell.
Well, that was Kit.
That is,
Like of all people,
I know, and I'm rooting so hard for Kip. I'm like, come on, girl, like,
it was so.
That's
that was just
rough.
like
I don't understand why you guys like this one so much.
no, that's
I
me.
don't know. I think she's
Me.
kind of cute.
She seems like an asshole.
I listen.
She hasn't given me that even that much of asshole vibes. Like yeah, she's like kind of rich and snobby.
She's also young.
She's like 21.
But the thing is, I never said I liked her. I said I like her on the show. I feel like she's gonna be a good character on Bachelor. And
Yeah.
so far, I love that. I don't love that comment. Let me say it. But the thing is, it's good
You
drama.
know what I love? Women beating up other women emotionally.
But here's the thing: is
I love women tearing women down.
But that's what you say in prison. Like, people go, "You did this one thing. I'm gonna make sure you have a terrible time here." It sounded like someone was having like a prison talk with someone, and they're all just laying into her.
Oh no, it was hilarious to watch Victoria of all people like rile up the troops. No, not
Golf
even
clap.
that. Not even that point yet, because that was after she got eliminated.
That's right.
after she
Oh,
left.
I forgot. That's right. The announcement.
The no, but like watching Victoria be like, actually, girls, we don't accept your apology, Sarah. That was hilarious.
Yes.
These girls are fucking ruthless, bro.
That was. I mean, I was reading like some comments, like during like live comments, right, and they're like, "Why are all these people so not mature? Like, they
Because
don't."
they're all like 22.
No, they're not all of them.
Yeah, some of them are like
Some are,
20.
late 20s.
But what I'm saying is that those are the
Difference.
comments, and I see where that attitude is coming from because, like I said, if you don't know a full situation, you can go in there with some of your opinions, but like you got to err on the side of caution when it's like dealing with something so emotional like the Bachelor or Bachelorette. And I understand the frustration with her, but we saw in the guy season, the guys like confront each other, and there was like, but no one ever went out to far and be like, you know, your time here, we're all gonna gang up on you and make sure you have a terrible time. And she ended up like crying and stuff like that. And then it turns out when Katie went to go talk with her separately, it was like her dad was dying. Her mom didn't want her on the show or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, this paints a little bit more of what was going on.
It was weird that Katie was the one to go back out and do it, because Katie was the one who got her time jacked.
Who,
I
according to you, suplexed.
yes.
Yeah, she
But
got she's suplexed.
Here's the thing, though. She did get her time taken away.
But she did. But when she came back and she was the sympathetic figure,
Yes.
she was like the hero figure. It's like,
Which
don't
I think
know.
makes sense.
It's
I think
sort of like if you're like, actually no, because I can't even put it in this context because like Katie didn't do anything wrong. But you remember the Dave Chappelle thing when he was talking about, it was one of those stories where it was like he read a book about the Iceberg Slim, the pimp,
Yeah.
and he's like oh like beat her with a coat hanger
And then give her a
and
bath.
then give her a bath, and she'll be
thank you.
so thankful that you're the one who saved her that she'll forget that you're the one who beat her with a coat hanger.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though, is Katie...
Analogy doesn't really work because Katie didn't do
Beat her.
anything wrong.
Here's what I think.
Katie didn't do anything wrong.
But Katie feels bad, I think, because after she's learned about it after the fact, and she did lay into her a little bit,
Yeah.
but she was very much pressured by the rest of the group. And even whenever Victoria was talking with Sarah outside, she's like, "You take care of this now, Katie. Finish her off." Like she's like tagging her in and be like,
Yeah,
give her the
it
suplex.
was honestly tagging her in. It was holding her arms behind her head in a full Nelson.
So I think in
Watching
all-
just Katie just take body shots.
So I thought Katie felt uncomfortable with all of those conversations. She was just doing like kind of what was being pushed along with her.
Yeah, it
Don't
became
be a
it,
sheeple.
well, it became mob mentality,
It's your fault.
Exactly.
where it was like
Everyone else was justifying
you
her
know what,
actions.
You know what? Listen, let's call it back to what it kind of felt like from one of our older shows that we reacted to. That's very much a Big Brother thing.
Oh, it is.
Like
Yeah.
I got serious Big Brother vibes.
She had the
like,
house with her.
one person did everything. One person did one thing wrong, and then even the people on the very bottom who could probably have been nicer or had no bone to pick with her, people that weren't even on that group date. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
If you weren't one of the 7 or 8 girls on that group date, then
You had nothing to
You
lose.
didn't have any. You have no gripe with Sarah.
But it felt like every single person made a comment to her.
Literally every single person in the room, like people I still don't know their name,
Yeah.
were like, "You stupid fucking bitch." Like, wait, what's your name again? Ashley. Where did you come
For
from?
to
Yeah.
gain notoriety, bud. Cheers.
What happened?
Notoriety.
You know, for
No, but like
Cussing out.
I guess notoriety, yeah, sure, but I mean at that point it's just piling on. I think at that point you're piling on so you don't become the person that was aligned or was like whatever friendly to the person that everyone hates.
It's kind of
It's very much a mean girl
I mean,
mentality.
it's basically, I can't remember what it's called. I know like one effect is like the bystander effect, where something's going on, you don't do anything about it, but there's an opposite effect, whereas if everyone is doing something, you do it. It's the whole thing. We talked about this on one of our previous podcasts where it's like,
it's
if-
whatever. It's like a subconscious peer
yeah,
pressure
but
thing.
the thing
Exactly.
is, like this isn't Big Brother. Like it doesn't really. I mean, like you know.
You think it doesn't, but then you sit there and you go like all the reason that Sarah left, one of the main reasons, and I still think it was maybe not the primary reason, but a very significant
Right.
reason
No,
why
no,
she
no.
left is because all the girls ganged up on her.
Well,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course. Of
So
course.
like if you look at it that way and you go like, oh hey, it doesn't matter like your house gameplay or whatever in the house, like because you don't need to make alliances and shit like that
No.
in the Bachelor.
yeah, and there's also nothing.
You still don't want to be in the bottom where everyone takes
was-
shots at you.
I was gonna say not from Sarah's perspective, from like you know the people who weren't on the group date who we've never fucking heard of who are cussing this girl out. It's like this isn't gonna get you in front of Matt. He's not here. Like you don't
not
have
in
to
front
be,
of Matt, but I think it might keep you out of other people's crosshairs.
Exactly.
Yes,
If you're
but,
if you're
like,
like
if you're
like,
agreeing,
yeah,
you're
if
simply agreeing.
if you're leading the angry mob, it's unlikely that you'll be the target of the angry mob.
But
And I would have felt bad if Sarah stayed because there's nothing like you never feel lonelier than when other people make you feel alone. You know what I mean? If you're in a house and everyone's ignoring you or doesn't want anything to do with you, you feel worse than if you were just by yourself.
You say that like it comes from firsthand experience.
No, I just know. Just know that. I feel so alone.
You sit there and you're like, there's nothing worse than when your entire family ignores you on Easter in 2007. There's nothing worse
But
when the
would you-
Easter Bunny doesn't bring you any
But
any basket. In the
I feel like
morning.
all three of us can confirm that, and I feel like other people like if
It's
you're
horrible when your dad goes out for cigarettes and he just
Exact- never
doesn't come
comes
back.
back.
He makes you feel alone the whole time.
It's horrible when your two co-hosts talk to each other and don't talk to you for a little while.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I mean, I will definitely carry this next hour if no one else wants to. But it's true though. I feel like she knew that it would have been a terrible time to stay there. She didn't want to feel lonely. She was already in an emotional wreck type place because of her
course.
dad, because everything else. She's also on the show competing with at the start 30 plus other women. Like it's already been a terrible time, I'm sure. And it's a hard like you can say I would have done different in that situation. I've never been in a house. I wasn't in a frat. I've never been in a house that's frat like or sorority like, trying to literally marry someone, convince someone that I'm the one they need to marry for their life within 10 weeks.
Yeah.
That you just can't
I
put
don't-
yourself in that pressure. Same thing with Big Brother. You never know.
I've
until you're in that.
already expressed it multiple times. I'm creating quite the resume for myself. For any prospective females watching, is that I don't fight for shit. I'm not fighting for you.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Not a
I
fighter.
I give up very easily. If you put me in a house, right? If it was just me and one other dude competing for a girl, I don't compete. Just
You can have her.
yeah, pretty much just like, dude, yeah, I don't care. I don't care that much.
Just do a little shimmy, dream shake, and dunk on that boy. You know,
I'm gonna dunk on who?
whoever you're fighting.
I mean, statistically,
don't-
half the population is taller than us. So I'm not sure who's dunking on who.
Yeah, I mean, 49% of the population is taller than me.
Yes.
49.
Caucasian population, we should say, in America.
No, 49% of the I am slightly above average.
Are you?
I don't know, probably not.
How
I
tall
would
are
say
you?
no.
I think I'm like perfectly average.
You're like 5'9", aren't you?
5'9" is the average,
I
I'm pretty
think
sure, in
5'9"
America.
is the average, yeah.
I think
I mean, if we're-
5'7" is the average.
5'7" is not the average. This is
5'7" is the worldwide average.
yes,
wi-
yes, it is.
It's what?
It's the
worldwide.
worldwide average.
Fuck
It's but the
yeah.
American, I think, Caucasian average is 5'9".
Love that.
It's like how women don't know the average height for or how men as well don't know the average height for a female. What would you say it is?
it's probably like 5'3".
5'1", 5'2".
5'4",
I was
really?
close.
which is crazy.
I was
It,
low.
it used to be 5'2" during my mom's time. 'Cause she was telling me I'm average height, and I looked. I'm like, it's like 5'3" and 3/4, and I'm like, you're not average height. She's like, I was average height.
promise you I
For
was
some
average
reason,
height.
women are getting taller in America.
Yeah.
It was but I really felt bad for the other women. Katie, when she got her date stolen, I still kind of feel bad she got stolen, but I feel now worse for Sarah. Because afterwards she left, and they had a big cry with Katie, a big emotional outpour. Then went,
Big cry. They had a big cry.
Big Cry Industries really wants her.
Then up and
Um,
left.
Yeah, and then up and left, which we thought she was
I
gone.
thought she was just straight leaving. She
and then
got
drove to
she
Matt's.
got in that Escalade, and they were taking off towards the airport back to San Diego.
They're like, oh wait, we have an important stop. We have
Yeah.
another chalet to get to. Matt's there.
Yep.
And had a basically told her what, and she kind of sounded like she was putting it more on the girls, which makes sense because you don't. I feel like if I was confronting someone, or at least not me, but most people when they're confronting someone don't want to tell them it's their fault. You know what I mean? Unless it's just them, but you don't want to tell 30 other women it's their fault.
And
he's
also,
like,
I think if
yeah.
a part of it is if I knew I was leaving anyway, and all those girls were
You wanna stir
assholes
it
to
up?
Oh,
me.
you cuss him out.
Well,
oh,
if
yes.
all those girls were assholes, like if all the girls had been nice to her or whatever, and it was really only like one girl or whatever, or let's say there was no girl and it was just she was just leaving for her own shit,
there's no reason to.
she wouldn't have taken a shot at any of the girls for no reason. I genuinely don't think Sarah's like a really mean and vindictive person like that.
No, it didn't seem. I think it was just the wrong time.
So when she goes and she went and talked to Matt, like obviously put fucking all of it on the girls. It's if it's even partially all those girls' fault, which it is,
Put them down.
make it
down
like
and
make
down.
it like 95%.
Well,
their fault.
Matt should know about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that other people are vindictive and
Right,
trying to get
yeah.
better. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And not even the. I would have. Yeah, I mean, if she named names too, that would have been better. But she just said
No
it was
need,
a group
no need.
mentality.
I mean, it was literally everyone in the house.
On her conversation
that's
with
fair.
Matt.
Huh?
She not she.
He.
Matt handled it very poorly.
All right, we're learning a lot about Matt. Matt has gone from. I still think there are very few flaws with Matt. I don't think even the show is painting him in the wrong light.
No, I think it's just
I think
his
that-
reaction to it.
I think the show is painting him in a fine light. I think they're not like doing extra work to like go out of their way to smooth over parts of him that are wrong or anything like that. But I think he's just, and I'll fucking say it, bad. Fucking come at me, dude. I still think you're super handsome.
You think he's bad?
Not bad. I didn't say bad.
I heard bad. That's what I'm thinking.
I think he's a little weak.
I think he's not good at handling high pressure emotional situations.
I think he's a weak.
Yeah.
I think he's a.
When you say weak, because we've seen his abs.
Yeah, yeah. The dude could bench press.
You mean like
so no
emotionally weak or like?
I think he's partially emotionally weak, and I think he, for as confident as someone like that should be, I don't know how confident he really is.
See, that's the thing I'm getting from, because what I'm saying is what I see is, you ever meet those people where like they're really trying hard to improve themselves, like they start going to the gym or something like that, and they're just now like starting to form their personality. They're trying to gain
self-confidence, yeah.
trying to gain their self-confidence. It kind of feels like he's just hit that. But I know he's like almost 30 and he has all this like success and all that. But it just feels like that's what I'm getting. Like he's not fully confident what he's saying yet.
It is a very weird situation. I think almost anybody, and even if, and I'll put it this: I think actually no, because I guess almost everybody in this situation would feel very uncomfortable being courted by 30-something women.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't care. I don't care what sort
yeah.
of Playboy Casanova you are. I don't care whatever you are. There's some people that are hyper confident and they'll like overcompensate for how uncomfortable they might be with all of this by being
Yeah.
overly confident.
Mm-hmm.
And then but they're like, this is why I can't say everyone would feel that way. Is that there is a Bachelor? There's been 25 of them.
Yeah.
So like it's always, there are people that are capable of doing it. The thing is with the Bachelor, they usually come from the Bachelorette.
Yeah, so
So
have,
like
right.
they
They
have
get it.
like a thing where they're groomed from the Bachelorette. They know how the whole thing works. They know how it felt to be on the other side of it, and they have that element of sympathy. I think it's something that Matt's missing.
yeah.
Matt has never been in a large group of women competing for one, or a large group of men competing for one woman.
And you can kind of see it in the way where he kind of played favoritism for some girls, like Sarah, where like he'd be like, "I'll be right back," and he goes and jumps her on the bed or kisses her like 10 feet away from each other. I feel like if you're on The Bachelor as a contestant first, you're hyper aware of those situations where it's like, oh, they're taking a while to get back or whatever, and you start pondering on it. He doesn't have that, so he's just kind of doing whatever he feels like he wants in the moment.
Yeah,
which feels like it's not the most respectful thing, but I get he doesn't have that experience.
I guess there's some experience and some tact that you could have for some of that. I will say, like, I mean, though, even I think Tayshia did a very, very good job with that sort of management last year.
Well.
She never let it seem like
she was playing
favorites, and like clearly she had a favorite. Like she married,
but just
she's
never seemed
engaged to one of the
outwardly.
dudes.
Well,
Right.
Another thing with Tayshia is like, and I agree with what you guys said for the most part. Although I'm not that into all the inner machinations of this show, but like, so last season on The Bachelor with Tayshia, you know, there was that situation where that guy had to go home because he still had feelings for Claire or something like that.
Yeah, like really
Yes.
early on, right? It
Right.
was like the first
It,
week.
right.
It wasn't
And-
the first. I think it was the third week. It was a beard guy. Who was it?
I don't
No, it's
fuck-
Jason.
I don't
It
know
was
who
Jason.
It-
Yeah, you're right. That was like
It was,
second
like,
week.
very,
Though.
It doesn't
early on.
matter.
Yep.
But when Tayshia had to talk to this guy, when he was like, you know, I have to leave, you know, she was like, you know, it's too bad, you know, I understand. Like, I would have loved the guy to meet you more, but like, you know, I support you. Like, go do what you got to do. Matt did not do that. He
did
talks to this girl, and instead of like, you know, this girl's going through a lot. She's getting shit on. Her dad's sick. That sucks. And she goes to talk to Matt, and instead of helping out, Matt's like, oh, you know, like, oh, you know, I have all these feelings for you. Like, oh, you should stay. He's just making it harder. You can't do that. And that's not like a Bachelorette thing. That's just like something you should know.
Are you
And-
saying it kind of like he's trying to convince her to do something she's already made her mind up on?
Right.
Okay,
And also, you know,
I
you
get what he's
can't-
saying.
Do you?
And
Can you spark notes it for me? He kind of lost me.
Oh, so he's saying she's already made up her mind to leave. It's a good move for her.
It's not even that. It's just like Matt, like when someone's in that kind of situation where like they're, you know, having, you know, misgivings about being there, they're you know, they're kind of in a bad place, and they go to someone to tell them, you know, to talk to them, to maybe say goodbye.
Yeah.
I apologize if this is really hard to follow.
You're not helping.
I'm coming back
Can
in.
you summarize his stuff?
Can I
Please,
try and
Yeah,
summarize?
go,
summarize
go,
it?
try to
Because you've
summarize.
only made it slightly more confusing.
Let me
You
Jesus
try to
fucking
summarize.
Christ.
Let me try.
Try
Let
to
me
summarize.
try. And
The
then
long pauses aren't helping either because I'm sitting there like being like,
let me say what
I don't know.
let me say what I think he's saying, and then he can add on to it or comment or
Okay,
whatever.
that's
So
fine.
so wait until he finishes.
Okay, yeah. So what I'm thinking he's saying is that she was having all these insecurities about being on the show. All of these things were going through her head. She didn't feel confident about being on the show, given her situation, all the other women,
Okay.
her feelings for Matt. So she decided to leave,
Right.
and whenever Matt was addressing those issues, whenever she left already and went to go speak with Matt, right?
Yep.
When he was commenting on what she was saying and she was giving all of her misgivings to him,
Yep.
his response was like, no, I have all these feelings. You should stay, kind of trying to keep her where her mind was already made up, and it's just not the best. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, I would add that like, you know, even
Keep talking.
all right.
It's an audio podcast. You fill the time.
It's on video. Well, anyhow, you know, the
Go.
What do you have
Just
tacked
finish.
on to mine?
Finish what you have to
I'm
say,
sorry.
dude.
Okay. So he like
My
he
fucking God.
he put his feelings ahead of what she thought was good for her,
Okay.
Okay,
which-
yes.
which is a dick move. You shouldn't do that.
I will slightly counter. And I will say he has every right to say how he feels in that moment and try to get her to stay. I think he has every right.
He does, but
he made it worse.
there is there's a level. There's a good balance. I feel
Especially if you want someone to stay. If he thought
like that she was the one.
if that she,
Or
I think,
possibility.
I think honestly, if she had stayed the whole episode, right? Because we're doing tiers in a little bit, so stay tuned. But so we're gonna blaze through the rest of this and try and get to tiers very soon. But if he had gone and if she had stayed, if Sarah had stayed, I think that Sarah would be in my like Dale tier this year. I think this episode.
Without a doubt.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if,
Yeah.
if I think that she was going to be capable of winning, and that's how we do our rankings here at Reality Wagon, is who we think is going to win, not based on favoritism. Like
Yeah.
it's not who I love, it's who I think. Excuse me.
That's a
Matt could end
greater
up
shot.
with.
Yeah.
So, that's something that if I think that Matt would have kept her along the whole time, then why wouldn't Matt try and keep her along the whole time?
Okay, I get that.
Because if you care about someone, you have to.
I don't believe in
Let
that
them do what
adage.
they have
I
to
don't
do.
believe in that adage.
You have to let him go.
I don't believe in you have to let somebody go.
Okay.
You don't have to let them go, but you have to let them do what's
Absolutely,
right for
and
them.
I don't think he was trying to control her.
No,
I just
the
think
way
he's-
it came
no.
off.
I
No.
just think, and this all circles back. I think he's not a very strong
Right,
person. I
right.
don't think he has command of
It
a
does
situation.
command.
I don't think he's confident himself to take
I don't think he
control.
was trying to control her. I think he just didn't handle the situation right and kind of made her, you know,
Uncomfortable.
not uncomfortable. He probably,
I think
he made her cry a little bit more than she had to.
I think he probably
in that way.
sowed more doubt in her.
Right.
About leaving.
And then she went and made the same decision that she was intent on making anyway. I think it was worth a shot for Matt if you care about this person, you wanted to stay.
He leaned on it too much, though.
No, but he told her straight up, and he was like, "It's like I'm extremely sad that you're leaving because I really wanted to see where this went with you." Right. So like and I think he meant that. Like I don't think the dude's insincere.
No,
it's the exact
I don't
opposite. I
think
think he might, in a way, be too sincere and is not understanding, I guess, how to have some tact.
What bothered me
how
is
to deal with it.
he never once said, like, I understand your situation. He just said, like, well, you should stay because I have these feelings. For
Fair. Okay. All right.
You.
Cool.
He never said, I understand. Your
Okay,
situation,
I think
which
what
you
we're,
have to do.
what we're
if you're
reaching
gonna
here
say
is
that.
a happy a medium between like the two extremes.
Well,
where
you
it's
should
like,
say how you feel.
you should say how you feel, but you have to not force someone or try and force someone. I think
But
he
you
did
need to
an
be
okay
supportive.
job. Yeah, I think
He
he
was not
lacked the
supportive.
support, but he did say what he felt, so he's missing one
The
component.
support's really
That
important.
makes it whole. I just, yeah. I agree with that. There's another point I was going to make off this. I can't remember, but I think I definitely think the way he handled it was correct in some ways, incorrect in others. But I wish her all the best. She was great.
I'm saying if we're gonna go ahead and try and do a little bit of predictive foreshadowing here, I say keep an eye on Matt. Just let's see how he handles some other stressful situations. I think this is probably the first. It's actually the
test.
second stressful situation.
More are
The,
coming.
Victoria versus Maryland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when he
okay.
kept Victoria.
Yeah,
So like
that was pretty funny.
so like that's a situation where like I don't know if Matt knows how to handle conflict. I don't know if he knows how to command a room. If the dude wasn't a 6'6" beautiful Adonis, like chiseled from marble, I don't know if he has the personality or the charisma to command a room.
It just doesn't feel like.
I don't think he's a
does.
very charismatic person.
Well, we were talking about this whenever
He's
he
not
was
boring, and
when
he think he's very nice. I think he's handsome and stuff like that, but
Adonis
he's not.
Wasn't inbred.
He's
always
he's,
remember
he's
that.
not charismatic.
I feel that you can tell in the way he addresses a room.
Yeah.
It just doesn't spark confidence to
It's
me.
like part of me thinks he wants to have his hands in his pockets and he's blushing and like looking and like swaying side to side.
He's
Like,
too hot.
hey, girls.
He's too hot to be nervy. Like, come on, bud.
The thing is that like
But everyone
I'm
does.
dead serious. There
Yeah,
are some dudes
I mean-
that are just like socially awkward. Is Matt socially awkward?
Yes. Okay. Here's how we should all say it.
Coming from Spencer.
because we.
I'm not socially
Because
awkward.
we
I just
touched on this.
meander.
Come on, go over that. Because we touched on this earlier, where it was
I'll talk forever. You just won't know what I'm saying.
exact. I mean, we it was like 5 minutes of this podcast
Honestly,
about
5
10 minutes ago.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
But I mean, that goes back to what we were saying earlier, which was anyone in this situation has a level of uncomfortableness, especially if you've never been on The Bachelor as a contestant before.
Yeah.
And I think he's having that mixed with it feels like he hasn't really he hasn't like got the confidence charismatic down in person, which is weird because I feel like he should have this. Like he's like we were saying, he's
Well, it's getting
beautiful, he's
worse.
successful. I think he's starting to feel the pressure. I think he's starting. I think he's not cracking, but he's starting to feel the pressure of like I actually have to make a decision
Yeah, it's
in
like
7 weeks.
Does he think he's one, right? Where I think he gets to the end, maybe he gets engaged to somebody, but
Yeah.
like not. It's not one of the last. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not even anything like because he like cheats or they're incompatible. It's something where I just feel like he just doesn't. I don't think he understands the gravity of what is at stake here.
No,
Well,
I think
maybe I'll
the same
figure
thing.
it out. It's a long way
I
to
mean,
go.
maybe, but this is also the thing.
We're
where
talking about like he has about 6-7 weeks to figure out like whether he's gonna marry someone for the rest of his life.
Yeah, and I think the problem here is he just. I mean, there was no other girl on the show besides Sarah that I was like, I could see her winning this. Now it's like they're all pretty much even.
Oh,
and
I
there's
know. No,
some
I still got favorites.
Well, okay, there are favorites, but I mean, in terms of who he's like
Already
really
established a connection
pining
with?
for,
Yeah.
Sarah was the best.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sarah was definitely up there. She's not.
The girl today was good, but it just
I'm
felt
not.
like
I'm not going to spoil who I have in Dale tier.
no, me neither. But what I'm saying is, I just feel like there is a lot of girls still where like he just hasn't had the opportunity to meet, or there's just no clear favorite yet. Whereas in Claire, we saw Dale was clearly her favorite within like week
Absolutely.
2. Tasha,
That's why he's the name of the tier.
yeah, and in Tasha, we kind of saw it a little bit towards the end with Zach, where it's like,
Tasha had a few clear favorites. You could tell the entire way.
yeah, that's the whole thing.
I remember that last date with Zach. I was like, oh, he's gonna win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we
Was
had
like
it at the
our, it was like
start.
Couple
our
episodes,
tiers
man.
were very. If we go back like predictive wise, like back the
Our
first
top 5 was like 3 or 4 people we hit. You know what I mean? It was like,
we nailed it the entire time. That's because we're excellent judges of character.
yes, exactly.
That's because we see a lot of ourselves in those top Bachelorette contestants.
Tonight
We
we get
do.
to see if Spencer is a good judge of character.
The answer is no, and we know that.
But
And
they
I can't
don't.
Wait, I can't
but they
wait
don't
to
know
do
it.
Just
They
just
don't know it.
go against whatever bet Spencer makes. Just
mean,
like
yeah.
fade Spencer's picks
You
the entire
watch.
time.
You fucking watch.
I'll watch, dude. I'll watch. But yeah, was there really anything else on this episode? So
Yeah,
Well, we didn't
so-
talk about the one-on-one date at all. It went pretty
Oh,
well.
yeah.
It was pretty
It went well.
standard.
well, the thing is with like one-on-one dates, like you went with Serena.
They all kind of
He-
go the same, you know.
Serena P is really cool. I think she's pretty hot. And I think she's very hot. I think she's someone that like is definitely a favorite now, especially.
They
after
seem to
that.
have a nice connection.
He got the solo date rose. They like rode horses and ate charcuterie or something.
Ate charcuterie with an ass.
With a what? Oh, a donkey.
Okay, cool. I was like, are we sexually harassing women on this podcast?
No, no, no,
now?
no, no. The donkey.
Okay. The thing I don't like solo dates. They're super fucking boring.
Yes,
all-
it
they
also
all go
feels
the
like
same way.
it feels like here's because we saw this in the
There's
other
like one
the
a
other
season
match.
where they don't get the rose.
But the thing, see,
Yeah,
that's
there's
the
honestly
thing.
one or two. Yeah,
That's how we feel it. I feel that you almost always give someone the rose on solo date for the first like 7 weeks, and then like we only saw it once in Tasha's week where she didn't give it to
Easy.
Easy.
it was easy. And
Or-
then Blake M.
But those were the
Not Blake M. Blake.
Are
Yeah, Blake M. He
There
the
were
one
two
with
Blake
the
M's.
bad. No, Blake Monar, whatever.
yeah, I know you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
with the weird beard.
bad beard. Yeah.
But the thing is, I feel like the first 5 weeks of solo dates are useless because you always give rose because you don't know them off. And then after that, when you've established, you have like a top 15. You know these people. You're like, if I go on a solo date, I pretty much know if I'm giving it to them or not. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like when you go on a date with someone and the first 5 minutes you're like, Yeah, no, this
I'm
is
jumping
not
out the window. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
I'm going to the bathroom for the next 3 hours.
yeah, it's just kind. I got so good at the end before quarantine, where I go on a date and I
Irish
just be like,
goodbye, dude. I'm
no,
really
no,
good
no,
at
no,
Irish
not
goodbye.
Irish goodbye. I would just say, hey, I
Irish
just don't see us
goodbye
working
people
out
on a
for like
date?
15 minutes into the date.
Oh wow.
And because I felt like I don't like abandoning people, I just want to say, hey, listen, I give 30 minutes, and then if I look at my watch and spend 30 minutes, I'm like, that's
You two
it
are
for me.
fucking sociopaths.
No, because I don't want to waste I don't want to waste her time, and I don't want to waste my time. Because I don't want to stay. Because my dates, if I really like someone, there are first dates I've had that have lasted hours, like 7 hours.
Evenings.
Yeah, like whole evenings where like I'd go
Mornings.
I'd go out. Yeah, that too. Next ones.
The
but,
next night. The next morning.
But it's like I'm notorious for going like a 5 p.m. date and staying with her until like 1 in the morning, 12 p.m. Even if she doesn't want to do anything else, like I like long first dates because you learn so much in a short amount of time. Where it's like, all right, now I can actually conceive myself or see myself conceive myself. I meant see
On the
myself
first date.
with the person.
Always.
But I just feel like if I don't like
You're
someone,
gonna make a wonderful mother in 9 months.
exactly like within the first 30 minutes or an
That's
hour,
pretty
you
good.
know if it's gonna work out or not. For at least like in a shorter
Absolutely.
term,
Absolutely. I find myself drawn towards toxic women, but I know when a woman is my type of toxic right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
I can just feel it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see it in her eyes.
Yeah. I can see it in the way that
She's like,
she
she might stab me. in
Yeah,
my
I was like,
sleep.
oh yeah, dude. If I wake up and I have a knife to my neck, so I made the right choice.
Hell yeah.
These fucking two guys. Jesus.
Spencer, you know what's so funny?
What?
And I'm about to say it, and it's gonna sound weird. I meant to mention it off mic, but fuck it, we're on mic now. Is when you say things like these guys, address me like I'm in the room.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
Talking to the audience. It's a
Don't talk.
podcast.
You're talking to us. I'm
Yeah.
talking to him. I'm talking to you. I'm
I'm
not
breaking the
talking to
third
the
wall.
audience.
I'm-
There is no third wall, dude. Like,
I'm talking to the audience.
No.
It's a third wall.
talk to us.
It's a fourth wall break.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You two are fucking crazy. Is that better?
Yeah, address us as if we're in the room.
Yeah,
Talking to the audience.
The way it sounds like you're doing like a Zach Morris, like timeout, like these guys are crazy.
That's
huh?
exactly what I'm doing.
Fucking stop doing it. It's really awkward. I was letting it slide, and then you just keep doing it. I was like, he's not gonna quit. Like, there's no way for me to say it. So, address me as the man I am, the man who lets you podcast on this, or join us on this podcast. Capiche?
Yeah, fine. whatever.
Capiche?
Jesus.
I'm kidding.
He's trying to command a room, but it's really just because you're a little bit heavier than him, so
I'm impossible to command.
only a little bit. So
I am the CE.
you're almost there. If you
I'm
gain a little bit more pounds,
Fucking dude, I'm done bulking. I'm so done bulking. I can't do it anymore.
it's gonna be weird when you start cutting and you're like get down to
I used to have such a tough time eating a lot of food. Like, I can't eat. Like, eating is usually a chore for me,
Mm-hmm.
or it used to be for a while. For the past like 2 months or so, I've been like forcing myself to bulk. So like
Yeah.
eating everything just to put on muscle. And now I'm hungry all the time.
You have entered my domain.
I fucked myself up.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say something about fucking.
we're,
food.
we're habitual. you got to get into the routine of now not eating. It takes like 2 weeks. You'll be good.
No, I already intermittent fast. The problem is that just during that eating window, I'm just like
Scarfing it down. Yeah.
You're
now
like double
cut that
cheeseburger?
window down.
Maybe two double.
Cut that window down to like
cheeseburger.
4 hours.
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
maybe.
And don't drink alcohol. You know, I'm just,
Oh, I mean, what are we doing here? We're not
Ooh,
crazy.
Speaking of that, can I have my whiskey?
Yeah, you can have your whiskey.
why is your whiskey over there? It was over here at the
I don't
start.
know how
I
it
saw
got
it
over
over there.
there.
I was about to put my beer there, and I was gonna knock it over.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know if cutting out alcohol. Like, I don't drink that much. Like, alcohol isn't the thing. The problem is that I've been getting high and eating an entire 12-pack of dinner rolls.
That would also be terrible.
That'll do it, bud.
Like, it's. I was looking at it and just be like, oh, 1,200 calories slathered in butter, super easy.
Oh,
How
you
many?
put-
That's
you
like
put
that's
butter
at
on 'em?
least 100%. It's at least 1,500, 1,600 calories. Like that, I'll meet my calorie surplus, no problem,
Yeah.
dude. I am. Stop looking at my love handles,
What are
Spencer.
you talking about? I'm looking at your face.
I saw your eyes glance
I'm
down. I'm
heavier
really
than you.
self-conscious about it now. You're heavier than me by like 4 pounds, and you've got me by like 7 inches. Not 7 inches, maybe 4 inches, 5 inches,
I'm 6'2".
6 inches. Or 5 inches.
5 inches, 4 inches. But still though,
5,
So what, you got a
5,
lot
10
more-
on 8.
You got a lot
Five-
more
five-
muscle than me. You're
five-
fine, bud. You,
10.
both of you are fine.
I'm not far. I'm thick as fuck though.
It just gives you more weight when you get back there, you know.
Yeah.
More weight to throw around.
Yeah. No, I got junk in my trunk.
Is that how
I got
that? Is
junk
that
in
how
my
that works? Is the bigger you are, the more. The
I
more
got
you
junk in
weigh?
my trunk, and I got junk in my front trunk now
If
too.
you got a big ass and you get back there, you got a lot more weight swinging around back there.
Why would I want to be swinging it back there?
Spencer's like, oh yeah, if I was clapping your cheeks.
It's a triple clap, double clap.
I don't
You got the
know where-
rebounds, the points, and the assists.
Dude, I don't know where we are.
I don't know.
We're
what
not.
This is.
We're not slipping into this again. We're not doing this again.
You know where we are? We're about to do Tears.
Oblivion.
We're gonna do tears, and I'm gonna lead us through tears. So
Are you gonna keep track of all three of ours, or just?
I'm gonna keep track of mine, and I'm gonna escort us through the thing.
Okay.
So Spencer's gonna keep track of his own.
Okay.
Okay.
You're just keeping like a notes app or whatever. Just keep track
Yeah,
of your
I'm
own
gonna-
thing, and we'll create yours later. So while they get set up, thank you so much. Anyone who tuned in last season for The Bachelorette knows that this is some of our favorite content. Is we do a specialized tier ranking for each week of The Bachelorette and Bachelor now. So for The Bachelor this year, we're gonna have 4 primary tiers. It's like the tier things that you've seen all over
Are we doing
social
4?
media and stuff like that.
Oh, it's right because they're
There's
getting rid of.
technically 5 tiers, right? So if you followed The Bachelorette last year, you'll understand that our S tier, God tier, if you will, we call that one Dale. There is Dale tier. Being in Dale tier does not mean there's only one person up there. You can have multiple people in Dale tier,
Mhm.
but all of them are of Dale qualities.
Yes.
They have a lot of Dale in them. There's almost Dale, which is next to godly.
Yes.
Slightly flawed, less Daled.
A Zach tier, if you will.
Yeah, we can call it. I'm not calling it Zach.
No,
It's
no,
gonna be way too
No, I
confusing.
like almost
Dale
Dale.
and
I
almost
just
Dale.
like-
Beneath that, we have middle of the pack people that can probably rise into something like an almost Dale. Maybe they have a potential to rise into Dale if we learn more about them.
They may also fall from grace. At
They
some
may
point.
also get bumped down potentially to something like a Lost in the Shuffle. Lost in the Shuffle is something that we don't really know that much about them.
Mhm.
We're gonna have a big old Lost in the Shuffle.
There's going to be a lot of middle of the pack and Lost in the Shuffle. That's okay. You're allowed to do that. I try and keep mine a little more balanced, but we
Yeah.
don't know. There's like 19 girls left. We don't know that much about all of them left.
And next week we're getting like 5 more girls.
Okay, yeah.
Oh
so
my
this is going to
God.
be a whole thing. This is going to be a whole thing.
That's why I'm saying maybe we'll do 5 tiers.
Okay. What do we make another one of these tiers?
We could probably get rid of
Almost Dale. No.
No,
What
we're
do you mean
keeping
get rid
Dale
of
and
Dale
almost
tier?
Dale.
No,
Just-
I'll add another row below it.
Oh, we're adding a tier.
I'm going to add a row below between Dale, almost Dale, and between almost Dale and middle of the pack. What do I call
wait,
it?
between almost Dale and middle of the pack.
Pretty darn good.
Well, yeah, we'll have a conversation.
That's a working title. We're gonna
Working
leave it as
title.
pretty darn good for the time being, and then it might change. So if you're listening, and it isn't pretty darn good, when you look at our social media, because we'll have this up on Reality Wagon, on our Instagram and on our Twitter when we upload the episode, then you'll understand that our working title changed. So it is now Dale, almost Dale, pretty darn good, middle of the pack, and Lost in the Shuffle. Beneath that is Gone and Probably Forgotten. There are already like a dozen girls, 13 girls, and Gone and Probably Forgotten.
We will not be doing all those people. We will be starting with the people that were.
No, they're already there. Like I already moved them there.
You
I
already
can
moved
see
them
the
there.
tier.
They're not.
already there.
That's what I was doing the whole thing when I was.
No, but I'm
prepping.
saying when I make ours, I don't think we should have all those women.
Oh, you're talking about like for like making the graphic for them and stuff like that.
Yes.
Fuck it. No, you can just grade their name. You just grade their faces out.
No, what I'm saying
Or just like
is
cut them out of the thing altogether.
cut them out of the
We
thing
can just cut them out.
because I don't want 20 women. Because by the end of it, our thing will
We'll
be
do.
we
We'll
need to
do
let
the.
the
We'll do
people
like
see
the
the
5 girls that
carnage.
got eliminated this week,
yeah, and Sarah.
and Sarah, and those will be the girls. Okay.
Yes,
great.
agreed.
Great.
Okay.
Perfect. And break. Okay. I don't know which one Sarah is. I think this is Sarah here. I'm gonna move her into Gone and Probably Forgotten. Okay. Cool. I'm just gonna run through, right? Also something to mention. This is based on who we think is going to win. This is not based on our own personal preferences. So as hot as I think someone like Bree is, or Anna is, or Katie is. God, there are a lot of hot girls. Jasenia is.
Correct.
Kayla's also.
We're just
really
gonna go
hot.
through this alphabetically.
Kit's pretty hot too. Lauren's excellent. Yeah, it's something where like I'm not gonna go ahead and put them all in Dale tier, even though they're all in my personal Dale tier.
I'm gonna be honest. This first week is gonna be a little rough for me.
This is gonna be a mess. But we're gonna work through it. We're gonna work through fast.
I
All
feel
right?
like I don't even know who half the people are just because they haven't like been on.
That's
camera.
why you have the wiki in front of you, and that's why you're gonna look at their faces when I read off their names. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I got the.
All right.
up.
Go
All
for it.
right. Abigail. What do we think about Abigail? Abigail is deaf and got the first impression rose from Dale.
Correct.
Mhm.
I will be putting her in almost Dale. I think that first impression rose made a great impression on Dale. And I feel
On
like
Dale.
yes, and I feel like
On Dale?
on Dale. I meant like she made a good first impression.
On Dale.
Yes,
Who's the Bachelor?
I meant on Matt. On Matt. I'm like, hold on. Sorry, I was kept reading Almost Dale, and I couldn't stop it.
Keep on following the gossip. Maybe the
so,
next Bachelor. will be
I
Dale.
think she has a strong chance of going far. That's all I'm gonna say.
Spencer, what do you think?
I agree with that. I think I'm like teetering on putting her into Dale territory. Like of all the people we can put in these tiers, I think she is number 1 and number 2 easily.
I agree.
I am going to put her in Dale tier.
Okay.
I think of all the people that we've seen so far, she's one that's made an actual serious impression. Someone where like Sarah would have been up there. I think Sarah is probably one of the only girls that I think tops her in terms of making that serious impression. I don't know if we have. She's gone now, but I don't think we have that many to go off of. Where like I want to keep these as balanced as possible, and obviously they're subject to change.
I'm gonna Dale it. You've convinced me.
What happened?
I'm gonna Dale it.
You're gonna change it to Dale.
I'm gonna Dale it.
Okay.
Because I was
all right.
teetering. But you've convinced me.
Easily impressionable. Spencer.
He is.
Well, I was teetering.
So now we have Anna. Anna has some of the biggest teeth in the world. She has crazy eyes. But I would let her key my car and destroy my credit. So
Good thing he already has no car and bad credit.
I've got great credit and no car.
He still has no car.
Anna, I'm gonna put in pretty darn good. I think she's pretty darn good. I think she's a little bit of an emotional mess. I don't think Matt knows that yet. I'm gonna call him Dale. Like I swear to God, I'm gonna call him Dale this episode.
You already did.
I didn't call him Dale.
No,
you
I
did.
did.
No, I'm saying I'm gonna call him Dale.
Oh,
I'm for
yes.
sure gonna call him Dale by accident. But yeah, no, I'm gonna put her up in pretty darn good. What do you guys think?
I think she's more middle of the pack for me.
Okay.
I think like you said, the emotional stuff, the way she was ganging up a little bit. I just feel as though Matt will soon figure that out and she'll be gone. I think she's definitely might be like top 12, top 10, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fair. Spencer.
I'm gonna put her in pretty darn good, just because she's actually made an impression, unlike some of the other people we're gonna talk about. I think she'll probably drop in the next couple of weeks because she seems kind of not sultry, but kind of not the greatest person.
Is sultry a bad characteristic? Look up the definition of sultry for me, Andrew, because I don't think I
Sultry.
know it. I always thought it was something that was good,
It can be good,
like sexy.
No, it's not that.
Sultry doesn't mean sexy.
Attractive in a way that suggests a passionate nature,
That's like the definition of sexy.
or hot and humid.
Either way,
Oh,
it's
well,
either hot, the definitions are either
I
hot
mean-
or sexy.
I mean, to be fair, one of the synonyms is sexy.
Well,
it's the.
I don't know what
definition.
sultry means.
She is.
She seems abrasive.
she's alluring?
Abrasive. I meant to
Alluring?
say abrasive.
Oh, okay.
I meant abrasive.
There's also humid. All right.
All right,
Yeah, she seems pretty human.
Bree is the next one.
Bree
right?
is next, and listen, I'll save Bree for last for me. So you go ahead. You guys go.
You go.
I go.
Yeah.
Oh man, she's a tough one to pin down. To be honest, I definitely feel like she's. You know, I'm gonna take a shot. I think she's in. No, I'm not. She's in middle of the pack. I'm gonna go with middle of the pack on this one. I think she's gonna be gone pretty soon.
Really?
I don't see a huge spark between her and Matt and their personalities. I might be wrong. Like I said, this week is gonna be a mess because we haven't seen them all kind of have like their one-on-one time because they're editing some of those out for a 2-hour time slot. But
Yeah.
right now, I think she's middle of the pack for me. I just don't know enough about her.
Okay. All right. She did have a solo date, but okay. Spencer, what do you think?
Is she the one that went on the solo date today?
No.
No, that was
No.
Serena.
Okay.
Look at Bree's picture.
I'm looking
Wait,
at
was
it.
she the one on the first week solo date?
Yeah.
That's even worse then.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
Oh, she got the first impression rose.
No, she didn't.
no, she
no,
didn't.
she-
That was
She got a solo date, Rose.
Jesus Christ.
she did. But I feel
Okay.
like solo date rose also, like I said earlier, don't really mean much this early on.
So like
Yeah.
she went on the solo date, but like I obviously don't know her very well, so I'm gonna put her in middle of the pack.
Jesus Christ, you guys are tough fucking
She
critics.
she just like she went on that first solo date, and then she just like dropped off. It like that's not
Dude,
good.
we're on week 3.
I know,
She
but
did kind of drop off.
but I
though.
haven't-
It's hard to stay
I-
relevant.
I know-
There's so many girls, dude.
right, but she's
Bree, these guys are
she's-
so mean to you.
She sunk to middle of the pack, and that's not her fault. Maybe she'll come back. She probably will.
Bree is in Dale tier, and there's no
Dale tier.
Bree is in Dale tier. There's no question. She is by far the hottest person on the season this year.
No.
Oh my God,
Disagree.
no.
Bree?
Bree is easy. Look at that photo.
Yeah, she's got a country club background.
A
Wait,
country
are
club
you looking
background.
at the same one I am?
No, I'm not digging into her Visco.
This isn't a Visco. This is a news site.
No, I'm on the wiki. No, Bree.
Did you think I was going on a Visco for each of these?
I didn't know what you were
women?
doing. I didn't know how deeply you were digging into their personal Facebooks. Bree is incredibly attractive. I think she has a glowing personality. She gives me slight Tasha vibes. I don't think she has the same magnetism that Tasha does, but also I don't know anyone who has the same magnetism that Tasha does. So for that reason, I will not compare her to Tasha. I'm not going to compare her to a goddess.
I don't really need
That's
that again
unfair.
for another podcast season.
I can go ahead and I can fawn over Bree. Let me fawn.
No, you can just
Back. It's back.
What? It's nothing back. I don't have an issue. She's really hot, and I think she's going to win.
All right.
So you're putting her in Dale tier.
She's in Dale tier.
Okay.
Chelsea. Chelsea, we have seen, God, so little of.
She's in the background a lot.
And I just don't know anything about her.
They always show her in like one of those edits where.
She does like a reaction.
So yeah, that's what I'm
They
about to
show
say.
her reaction all the time, and like they sometimes like do like the DR or like the ITM, like the personal like one-on-one things,
Yeah.
and she'll say something about something that's happening. But other than that, like I have not seen her. I don't even remember the last time. I don't remember her talking to Matt.
That-
I don't think she's talked to Matt yet.
I mean, no, she has to have talked to Matt.
Oh, she
One
talked
time
to
in the
Matt.
past
We've seen.
3
she
weeks,
talked
but-
to Matt during the first like the introduction cocktail
Yeah.
party.
Yeah, but like, I just don't know anything about her.
I definitely think they're doing that edit thing where they show her as part of the group, but she's gonna be gone. So I think she's being purple edited. I don't think she's
Yeah.
gonna make it. I'm gonna go with Lost.
Okay. Spencer, what do you think?
Ditto. I mean, I think we don't have anything to say about her.
I have her in my Lost in the Shuffle as well, and I don't know how much more time there is to be spent on her. Unfortunately, I hope she gets FaceTime. She seems super nice. She's a runway model.
She is.
Mm-hmm. Jasenia is left. Jasenia is also very attractive. She's one who gets a lot of camera FaceTime because the camera is just like drawn to her.
Yes.
I'm gonna put her in middle of the pack just because I don't really know the impact that like the connection that her and Matt have established at all, like at all. I would put her in Lost in the Shuffle, but if I had, I have to. I think at least at this point in time, use a little bit of subjectivity.
Was she part of the poetry group date?
I don't even remember.
I can't
I don't
remember for
remember.
some reason.
That poetry
I
group
think
date
that
had
says
so
enough,
many
doesn't
people
it?
on it.
Yeah. Yeah, she's going middle of the
I
pack.
spent most of the time in the poetry group date like hiding behind a pillow. Anyway, so like doubtful that I actually remember who was on that.
during that actual like bit, like the erotica bit. None of them really stood out.
Didn't one of them say like jam it in my
Yeah,
Victoria.
It was
and make
Victoria,
me
but
bleep?
Well, we will get to her because that is a
bleep
lot.
all over my bleep? I was like, yeah, I'm not I think some of them tried extra hard to stand out.
Yeah.
What do you guys think for Jasenia?
She's in my middle.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about her.
so she gets a lot of screen time.
Tons of screen time.
Yeah.
So,
But I
like,
just feel I've never seen her really react.
I
with
know.
Matt in, like,
She gets screen time, but it's not like screen time where she talks.
She's
Exactly.
always-
It'll just be like showing her face to be like, hey, look at this pretty
she,
face.
She always, no, does she talk a bit?
A little. Not
Isn't-
that much.
Isn't she the one that's always like, I can't talk to Matt? Like,
Who? What?
no,
I don't think
Am
we're
thinking
watching the
of
same
someone
show.
else?
Yeah,
she's definitely middle of the pack.
I think middle of the pack is the best place for her there.
We'll probably see her more in a week. or two.
I forget how this one's pronounced. It's either Kaylee or Kylie. It's spelled. It's a super dumb white spelling of the
I
word
think
Kylie.
I think it's.
I think it's Kylie.
Is it Kylie?
K-A-I is typically Kai. So
I think it's-
K-A-I-L-I.
I actually think it's Kaylee.
I don't know what it is.
Kylie.
Kylie. All right.
I kind of want to call her that. All right.
She's had a little more FaceTime lately. She was one of the girls that called out fucking Sarah today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know though. Let's put her in Lost in the Shuffle.
I was just about to
I
put her
don't
there.
fucking
Yeah.
know, though, you know.
She has very voluminous hair.
Does she?
From the photo I'm looking at, like, yes. I don't know.
Oh wow, that's a lot
That-
more volume
That
that's on
is
the other show.
so much
That's
hair.
like 80s.
Yeah, that is like.
Well,
she
no,
is-
that's like Jersey Shore. I don't know why it's
From San Diego.
It's not fucking Perm.
No, she's from Chicago.
It says she's hometown is San Diego.
She's a 26-year-old hostess from Chicago, Illinois.
From
Hostess?
Chicago. Okay.
I know in Chicago.
Sorry,
Illinois.
mine says hometown, so I think it was.
It's probably she lives in Chicago now.
Yeah, exactly.
What do we think for
Kylie.
K word? What do we think for the K word? K dog. What do we think for K dog?
despite what happened this week, I think she's in pretty darn good.
Okay. All
I think we saw a lot of like her emotional side this week. Whether if she learns from it, pretty darn good. She might move up even from there. But I really want to see how Matt next week reacts to the whole situation with her. But for now, I feel like she's in pretty darn good.
Sounds good, Spencer.
Yeah.
What do we think?
I think she made a very poor impression on Matt when she kept walking in. Are we talking about the same person?
Kaylee?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about Kate. I thought we moved on.
No,
Well, no, we're talking about Katie. She got walked in on by
Katie.
Sarah.
No. Kaylee. Did you guys talk about Kaylee?
Oh, Kaylee's
Yeah,
lost in the
I
shuffle.
already said Kaylee.
We already said lost in. Did we all say lost in
We
the
all
shuffle?
said
said
that.
lost in the
Katie.
shuffle.
What do you think of
And
Katie?
then, we also went to the K name we shouldn't name,
No,
which
do you
was Katie. You were like the K name.
No, Kaylee or Kylie or whatever.
Oh, I thought
her
we-
name is K-Dog for the
So,
time being until we figure out how to pronounce
What
it.
I thought you were saying
But that-
was
'cause
like
our
she
next
was-
person's
Christ, no,
a
I
K
know how to
name.
pronounce Katie,
'Cause we're
dude.
going
But
in
we all
alphabetical
three
order,
said
but we
lost
all
in the
got
shuffle,
confused.
and then you said,
I
"What do
know,
we think
I made a
about
mistake.
Katie?"
I made a mistake. Okay, Katie. What do we think of Katie?
Well, we just said ours. What about you?
Wait, did I finish?
Oh no,
I
you,
don't
you
know.
didn't say your tier yet.
So I think I don't think she made a very good impression on Matt when she kept walking in when he was talking to Sarah. Even though it was like her time that Sarah walked in on, I think she made a poor impression. So I'm gonna put her in middle of the pack.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna do the same. I for a second there I put her in almost stale because I thought that like her versus Sarah would basically create like when someone wins they'd be like a top tier
Yeah, a
same thing when
competitor.
someone was like Bennett versus Noah type situation where I was like, oh, the winner of that is gonna be like a very like, they're obviously gonna rise himself up, but like it didn't even turn into anything because Sarah left.
Well, she redeemed herself a little bit to the audience, but she didn't to Matt, which I think is going to be a problem.
It's going to be something where if Matt comes in and confronts everybody
It's gonna
next
be in the
week,
shits.
it's going to be what was the issue, and the issue's going to stem back. Good point, Spencer. Good point.
What did Katie give to Sarah in the box? What were her three gifts?
It's in the box. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Girls would be ruthless with that shit
Dude,
too.
I don't even want to.
It would be like a mirror because you're like so pretty, and I wish I was you.
Oh, gross.
Kayla is beautiful. I don't know like the impact. I don't know if any impression she's made with Matt.
Same here.
She's got a lot of camera time.
She has got
like
a good amount of
speaking.
camera time. I'm gonna put her in middle of the pack.
me as well.
It's unfortunate. I want to put you higher. I just don't know anything about you.
I'm gonna put her in pretty good
Pretty good. Pretty darn good.
Darn
Yeah.
good.
because she's been on a couple of group dates.
Mhm.
That's the only
She
reason.
has. She was part of
She's
the.
been on like a couple.
I
of
think
them.
she's been on the winner group date of the marriage one last week. I think she was right.
She's been on a couple, and I'm just banking on like some off-screen shit. If she made an impression.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think next week is going to be something where, I think honestly, a lot of these girls that we might have ranked pretty highly could easily get eliminated because 5 new girls are coming in.
Which is,
If 5 new girls come in, that means they have to get rid of 5 girls next week.
Yeah.
If they don't, then this season's going to stretch out really far again. We already had last season stretched on for way too long.
yeah, I
Right?
agree.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, because they're supposed to cut down more
It's
than
like
we're there.
13 episodes or something.
Yeah, because they added more guys halfway through.
Oh,
And
they also had
need-
double episodes though.
Yes.
But we also recorded only one
We did.
podcast for those episodes.
Yep.
Ay.
It was a lot.
Kit. Next one. I know where you're gonna put her.
Kit?
Yeah.
Oh no, hold on. Here's the thing though. Personally, she's one of my favorites on the show.
Yep.
With Matt, however, I think given her age as well is going to be a factor in Matt's decision.
Mhm.
If I'm being completely honest, being 21 and marrying has its own problems. From what I've seen, if you're marrying like a 29-year-old, good statistically, that's not the best. So I'm going to actually be putting her in middle of the pack.
Okay.
She's personally one of my favorites on the show, but I just don't see her long term staying around with Matt wanting to marry her and see the rest. She would be someone, if she made it to the end, they'd be like, hey, let's stay engaged for a little while, maybe until you graduate college or something like that.
Until the end of algebra class.
Yeah, because if you think about it, if she's 21 or turned 22 on the show, she just became old enough to drink, which is in my mind maybe don't get married right then. You know what I mean? Even though I know
Some people would think otherwise.
I was just
Some
gonna,
people
I
think
was just
before
gonna
they
make a
start
comment
drinking.
about that.
well, yeah,
Some people would think otherwise.
I have started getting some wedding invitations,
Same here.
and I'm like, why I mean, like some of them are like, I wasn't that good of friends with you. I don't know why you're inviting me, but
Really scraping the bottom of the barrel, inviting me.
No, honestly,
Never
they're
talked
like-
to you since high school.
exactly. I'm like, interesting, but yeah, some of my friends get married. I'm like, interesting.
Yep. Spencer, where are you putting Kit?
Where am I putting Kit? I'm gonna put Kit in pretty good. For the same exact reason as Kayla, because I know Kit has been on the screen a lot, and she's seems to be a dramatic type, but like she hasn't actually. We haven't seen her interact with Matt very much.
Yeah.
which is
That's the other thing. Yeah, no one-on-ones.
she's been on a lot of the group dates just like Kayla, but like and like we've seen a lot of her, but she hasn't shown up in like any sort of one-on-one
Did we
thing.
see? She was part of the poetry date. Did we see her poem?
Oh my God, she was.
Yeah.
We'll go back and find it
Because here's the thing: is
because I don't
I
remember.
don't remember
Again-
her as being significant.
Again, none of the erotica stood out except for
Victoria's.
Victoria, and
But
like,
no, I just
she
don't-
always does that.
I just don't remember hers at all. Like her standing up there
I don't
saying
remember her
it.
saying it.
But I remember her having the book.
I feel like you would probably been glued to the TV.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what
Or
does she
be
got to
like-
say?
like-
What about her hoodies? What if she had like a self promotion? Like, and if
Yeah.
you check out
It's-
kitkeenan.com,
And he Matt carefully peeled off her kitkeenan.com rainbow hoodie
now available, limited time.
to expose her bare breasts.
Her stuff's not that good. We've been over this.
I have her in pretty darn good. I think for you guys had already mentioned the way that she's being edited. I think that's something to definitely keep track of. She's been someone who's kind of risen above a lot of like the bored like mush of all the
Yeah.
rest of the girls. Is that like they're giving her a personality? They're creating this sort of persona around her. The producers wouldn't invest like that in her if she was just going to blend into whatever. So it doesn't even matter that maybe she hasn't had that much time with Matt. It's more so that the show is investing the time in making sure that you know who she is.
Yes, I'm always in the opinion of like mentally most people I feel like consider age into their factor.
Absolutely.
And,
do I think she's gonna win? Probably not.
yeah,
But
and
pretty
age-
darn good is a fine place to put her.
and
if she
love-
makes like final 8.
Yeah, and love doesn't have to have an age after the age of 18. But like like definitely if you're gonna fall in love with someone, marry someone, have them be 18 or older, But
At least try, guys. I mean, come on. Like, put in a little bit of effort. Just try and make sure she's 18.
exactly. Oh, no, make sure she's 18. Don't try.
Please, God, make sure that she's 18. I'm
But,
looking directly in
Kelly
the camera.
variety.
So
I
I-
mean it. That was a joke. This is a
Yes,
humorous
this is-
podcast.
yes.
I do not condone that type of behavior.
No. But I just feel like that's gonna go into his decision making. I get that vibe from him. So
Yeah.
who is next on our list?
Lauren? Is Lauren still here? I guess that explains where I'm putting her. If she isn't.
No, wait, there's no way. I thought she got eliminated.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Well, just in
She's
case,
not in the group that's eliminated unless she was eliminated in the beginning of the
just
episode.
in case, I'm gonna put her in Lost in the show.
She wasn't eliminated earlier in the episode. She wasn't eliminated this episode.
Well, I saw her once or twice, and she's just
I
gone
think
for
she's
me.
still here. I'm gonna don't put her in Gone and probably forgot.
No,
she's
not gone, not gone. I meant she's in Lost, but like
She's gonna.
definitely
She's
gonna-
in Lost in the Shuffle. If I don't even remember if she's on the show or not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Spencer, what do you think?
Ditto.
Okay, cool. So we're on the same page. The next person left is Mariella. No, Maggie.
Yeah, Maggie from the Ethiopian one.
Yep.
Yes. I'm gonna let you guys say this because I've been going first quite a bit. So you guys say yours, and I'll say mine.
Spencer,
later.
you go first.
I will go first. I think she's lost in the shuffle. So I haven't seen her talk to Matt at all. I haven't seen her on any of the dates. She's kind of fading. I barely saw her at all today. Maybe saw her on screen once.
This is going to be a really bold opinion. I think I have her in Almost Dale.
Okay, so this is where me and him kind of agree. I have her in pretty darn good.
Yep, I have her in Almost Dale. Earlier on, like we're only 3 episodes in, right? And they've had to separate the time amongst a whole lot of people. So the fact that you saw anybody in the first episode, and it's not indicative of whether they'll stay the entire time or not. We've known that. Spencer last in The Bachelorette got the first impression rose with Tayshia, and he was gone like 3 weeks later.
Mind blown.
Yeah,
At that one.
yeah.
I'm
Where was-
still here.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was the Spencer where you were like he's not even that attractive, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
dude, the
I
dude's
remember
literally
that.
like a Calvin Klein model. Like
Yeah.
he's
He had a
He's melting
terrible,
my
like
heart.
he
He
had a
gets
terrible
paid to
hairline.
be in underwear.
my
He
ovaries
had
are
a terrible
pulsating.
hairline for someone who's.
Are you
supposed to be
kidding me?
hot.
Look him up, dude. His hairline's better than all 3 of ours combined.
I mean, I got good hairline.
Your hairline's fine. I'm saying his hairline's better. The Maggie made an impact with Matt on the first bit. Like I think on like the first date or whatever. Like the first time they kind of met.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm gonna put her in almost Dale.
She was one of those people I think could like jump way up the table if she
Gets a little more
gets some screen time.
Yeah.
I think if she gets more time with Matt, yes. I also feel her actual intelligence, because she's one of the few people on the show that have like
She's not in
She's
marketing.
a pharmacist.
That's what I'm saying.
I think she's also one of the oldest people on the show.
She's 32.
She might
Yeah.
be the oldest person on the show.
I think she actually is, and she's from Ethiopian. I'm sure she has a
is
lot
the
of.
oldest one.
And I feel like Matt has traveled extensively. I feel like some of these people might not have. I feel like Maggie, being from Ethiopia, she's well traveled, she's well educated, she speaks her mind, which is great. And I feel like she's very emotionally intelligent and, can compartmentalize how she's feeling. Like,
Has she spoken that much?
She has actually.
I don't know if I could gather that much about her, but I will say that I think she is a strong competitor, and I think that the show will give her a if and when they give her a send off, unless she ends up like as the winner. I don't think it's gonna be a fitting send off. They will do the proper amount of time. I think.
As I said, I fully expect this to change if she gets more screen time. But like, I just haven't seen enough.
No,
of
you
her.
got to go off what we've seen.
Yeah.
Next one is I don't even know her name. Mariella.
Can I also just say one more thing about Maggie before we go to this one?
I will allow it.
She started a nonprofit organization called My Shoes, Your Shoes, which provides shoes to underprivileged girls in the developing countries who walk barefoot to school. Dude, lovely.
The homie's got to stop thinking with his dick to think about stuff like that, though.
I feel like Matt doesn't think like his dick. But
Matt has not once thought with his dick.
Yeah.
He has not proven otherwise.
But what I'm saying is she's a good human being.
He thinks with his dick until proven otherwise, according to Spencer.
Yeah,
That is
it's like a court of fallacy.
That is how all men are.
A court of
Don't
fallacy.
you dare lump me in with these other heathens.
Yeah, don't let me in with you.
Until proven otherwise. You can prove it otherwise pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah. Put your hands up, drop your drawers, show me you're not thinking with that thing.
I'm gonna put
So who are we talking about next? You said Mary?
Mariella.
Wait, Mary with the one eye?
Yeah, Mariella.
Oh, sorry, because the other one's Marilyn. My bad.
Yeah. No, Mary Lynn is out.
Mary, oh, God.
I have her middle of the pack.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know her too well.
Yeah, she's had some FaceTime. She did some stuff this past episode.
I feel like I've seen her, but not enough.
She was saying some stuff in the past episode and stuff like that. She was one of those people that was just sort of like piling on against Sarah there. So like middle of the pack you go. Spencer, what do you think?
I kind of agree with that. I mean, I've seen her, but not enough to put her anything past middle of the pack.
Right. Andrew?
I would have to put her in the middle of the pack.
All right, cool.
So.
Consensus pick. MJ Snyder. MJ grows on me more, and like every time I see her on the screen, she gets like hotter and hotter to me.
I love that type of hair. I love that,
like the blowout,
like
shit.
that surfer.
Yeah, she gives me
curl,
surfer
I
vibes
thought
for
you
sure.
liked dreads.
Who, me?
No. I never said I only exclusively date someone or go after someone with this one particular haircut. No. Dude, that is actually probably my favorite hairstyle. Like,
Well,
out of everything.
You like the blondes, yes.
I dated a redhead
Yeah, but
for
you-
2 years.
But you like the blondes.
I guess she was naturally dirty blonde and she dyed her hair red. But I didn't know otherwise.
That's not what I'm talking about.
All right,
but
how about
okay.
this? How about you just tell me where you're gonna rank her, huh, Spencer?
Oh yeah.
Thank
so
you. Jesus Christ.
She is kind of like a couple of the people that I've talked about, where it's just like, yeah, I've seen her on screen.
Okay,
But has Matt talked to her? And I feel like she's been on a couple of the group dates, but I just don't know if Matt has interacted with her enough to get her past middle of the pack.
Sure.
She had one of my favorite jokes of the season whenever they nicknamed the vibrator MJ. She went up and goes, "It's time for MJ2 to get some time," referring to herself or referring to either the vibrator or whatever. She said like MJ1 or whatever whenever she was interrupting someone else's date. And I laughed at that. So I'm going to put her in pretty darn good because I feel like Matt also laughed at that. So
I'm going to put her in pretty darn good, and it's not even so much of what I've seen on screen as much. This is one where I'm going to inject a little bit of subjectivity on my own part and think that it's one where this could easily be a total flop. Like she could be gone next week, and I wouldn't that wouldn't shock me.
yeah,
it's something where I think that she does have a lot of personality. I think she's pretty bubbly. I think she's very, very attractive.
very bubbly. It's
I think she's very, very attractive.
Agreed.
someone that I think Matt would probably keep around for at least a good amount of time until he gets to know her. I don't really foresee him just sending her home without actually getting to have that sort of impact. Next one is Piper. I'm gonna go first on this one.
Thank you.
Piper is gonna go all the way up in almost Dale tier.
Mm-hmm.
I think he made a really good impression. She made a really good impression with him. Thank you for critiquing me.
No problem.
Earlier on, I think it was episode 1 where he did that, where he and her were talking. The way that I'm going to judge her, and again, I'm going to just keep injecting subjectivity into this because I have nothing else to base this off of.
Told me not to do that.
No, but you can do it. Like, you can do it. This isn't who I want to win. Like, I'm just saying that, like, I think she's very hot.
Oh.
I think she's very hot.
Okay.
I think she'll stay.
Yeah.
For a good amount of time. If Matt gets rid of her that early, I think that's a bigger thing. Like that would be something where I'd be completely shocked.
She has a master's in marketing, so she knows how to.
My type.
She knows how to sell herself. Yeah.
Everyone does marketing, but anyhow, my opinion. What is my opinion?
Why don't you fucking tell us? It's one of my few swears.
I'm about to.
Guys, this episode is an hour and 20 minutes long. We got to move fast.
I know. I gotta get work tomorrow. So.
This bickering needs to cut it out.
Well, Piper, I'm gonna put in pretty good because I think she's made some impression with Matt, and it's been good. Like she doesn't give me any vibes that she's gonna end up in the shits yet.
Okay,
right.
You know,
same here.
Cool, pretty darn good.
All right, Rachel, fuck it. Spencer, you go first.
Okay, Rachel. I believe Rachel. Yes, I think I'm thinking of the right person. Rachel seems to. I'm actually going to put her in almost Dale.
Okay.
Because I think she is always very smooth and has good interactions with Matt, although I don't think she's made any, like, super move yet.
She got the group date rose.
She got the group date rose, right.
So her erotica was the best erotica.
Yes.
I'm also putting her in almost Dale for that reason.
So I'm putting her in there as well. She's also getting a lot of screen time.
She got a ton of screen time.
Yeah, well, she always has, like, smooth interactions with Matt.
She's also from Cumming, Georgia, which I love.
I think she could be moving to Dale territory soon.
Eventually.
I think she might sneak her way up there. We'll find out soon enough. Serena C.
Ooh.
Serena C. I think it's Serena C. Yeah, Serena Chu. I'm gonna put her in Lost in the. She's got a ton of screen time. Her thing is that like she didn't get any time with Matt on the group date because she was cut off completely by everyone else. I don't know. She might be a casualty of the next wave of girls coming in. There's even more people to compete with for screen time with Matt.
I agree. I see her going.
Yep.
She's in Lost in the Shuffle for me.
Spencer, what you feel?
All she does is complain about not talking to him. She doesn't actually talk to him.
Yep.
Lost in the Shuffle.
Lost in the Shuffle.
And I know where I'm putting the next one. So
you go first.
Serena P.
Yep.
Had the solo date this episode. I think she made an amazing impression. I think Sarah would have been Dale tier because she's not here. Serena P for me is going in Dale tier.
Interesting.
I think she made a heck of an impression. Matt seemed like he was really enjoying himself, forgetting about all the other drama in the house. But I think I see Serena going far.
Okay. Spencer.
So I am going to put Serena at almost Dale. She had a really good impression on the one-on-one date. But I hadn't seen that much before that, so I'm not going to go quite Dale yet. But
okay.
Yeah, I could see it.
I am going to put her in almost Dale. I think she did make a very good impression with this current, with her obviously with her solo date. She ended up getting a solo date rose. I just think she's probably to me the closest one to rising into that Dale tier. I think she's right on the cusp. I'm debating between putting her up in that and putting her in almost Dale. I'd like to keep Dale as a little more exclusive, so I'm going to keep it with just Abigail and Bree for the time being.
I was having trouble with that. I only had none. I'm like, none of these girls. And then I saw her. I'm like, yes.
Nope. I've got 2 girls in Dale tier. I have 4 in almost Dale now. So that's where Serena P is going to end up, is in almost Dale. There's one more left. We all know who it is.
Victoria the Queen.
Queen Victoria.
I think this will be interesting for all 3 of us.
All right. Tell you what, everyone move the person there first, and you cannot change it afterwards. So move it to where you move it. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's there. So none of us are going to be influenced by the other people in terms of where it's going to be.
Yep.
Andrew, I want you to go first.
Give me one
Okay.
sec, give me one sec.
So,
No, don't say it yet then, I guess.
are you having trouble
Are
figuring
you
this out,
texting
buddy?
somebody?
No, I'm typing it in. So
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
I forgot. He has to type all his shit. I
Like,
thought he had to
come on.
move it. Okay.
Where should I put Victoria last minute to someone?
I'm
who actually
typing in
saw
the
it?
names. I'm not
Yeah,
texting
they-
people.
So anyway, I feel like the way they're editing her, the way they're prepping her, it's kind of like the Bennett of the show, where they're going to keep her around for a while.
Yep.
And I see her sticking around top like 8-ish, even through the new wave of girls. So I feel like there's the other two things. She's going to be removed with the new wave of girls, or she's going to keep top 8. That for that reason, I'm putting her pretty darn good.
That is a very good interpretation. Spencer, what do you think?
I'm also putting her in pretty darn good. I want to put her lower, but like she's obviously been cast as the villain of this show. I actually don't think she's that interesting because like it's just so leaned on her character.
Do you think she's the villain, or she's more of like the catalyst of the
No,
main
she's
villain
the
of the
villain.
week?
She was
Do you know what I
cast.
mean?
No. I think
she's not even interesting?
no.
She's just a villain.
I would agree. She's
I don't
not.
think she's the
not.
villain.
She's not an interesting person. She's 100% the villain.
I don't think
she'll-
she's the. I think she's.
you
She's
know.
not the main. I think weekly.
Who do you think is the main villain?
What
No,
are you
no, no.
talking about?
Here's no. Listen, this is what I think. I think if you want to say main villain, that could also be used as. I'm saying she's like the secondary villain. She's like catalyzes the drama each week for someone else. I feel like each week it'll be a new villain, and she's behind or with that person.
Who the main villain at Star Wars?
I mean, it's either Darth Sidious or Darth Vader. But one of them catalyzes the other. So that's all I'm saying. Anyway, we'll see you in the future episodes because we got to go home.
I have her in middle of the pack.
Interesting. Why is that?
I have her in middle of the pack, and I kind of wish that I could move her up now that I heard y'all's perspective, primarily Andrew's, because he equated her to Bennett, which I also see, and they kept Bennett around for a longer period of time and even brought him back. And that's something where, like,
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't rule that out completely.
She's
And
going to
like
be around
Victoria
a while,
being-
but she has no chance of winning. She's just
I
there
no,
for
100%. But
entertainment
literally, there's only gonna be one winner here. So ideally, even the people that are my almost Dale have like a slim shot. Let's say like a 10 to 15% shot of winning.
Yeah.
Even the two girls in my Dale tier probably only have like a 30 to 40% shot of winning. So like the further I move down, like we're talking about like it's
You're giving some
diminishing.
high percentage chance of those winning.
I
no,
think,
I get what
I
you're
honestly,
saying.
at this point in time, I do think Bree wins.
You think Bree wins?
I think Bree wins.
Oh, do we also want to do that total thing
What thing?
where we say like who we think is going to win based off of this cast
Fuck
and
it.
not the next 5?
Yeah.
Spencer, who do you think?
Well, I only picked the one Dale. So,
All right.
so
I'm
Abigail.
gonna go with Serena.
Okay, perfect.
So Bree, Abigail, Serena.
Yep.
And obviously next week, I think every week we should think who we're gonna win.
yeah, well, I mean, I think it'll be someone in Dale tier. I really hope.
Yeah.
I really hope for each one of us, for our own opinions, it'll be someone in Dale tier.
I hope it's not someone lost
Yeah.
in the shuffle.
we could even
like,
we could even put like a little crown thing on.
yeah,
was-
well, yeah.
I was only going to pick one Dale tier anyway because like there's only
You could
one
do that. That's a
Dale.
tactic. It's something where
I think I
like
do that
casting
more.
a larger net. I mean, I really only have 2 people in it. It's not something where I would probably have it evenly distributed.
Yeah, mine is typically like 1 or 2 in Dale.
It's kind of like a
3 or 4,
Because
and then
honestly, the way I think of it, it's like Dale tier is like who I think this week is going to win based on what I think, and then almost Dale like could win if I'm wrong, and then other than that, nothing.
I mean,
Mine's,
fair. It should be Dale's always that we're picking, but
Yeah, mine's sort of like dual modal. Like there's a couple. I
Yours
got a
is
bunch of
pretty-
people in the middle of the pack, bunch of people in almost Dale. But
All
yeah.
right.
So we just powered through. It only took us an hour and a half.
fucking tears.
not
dude.
bad.
That took forever.
Next week tiers will be faster.
We'll work faster. I will cut people off. I'll cut some throats.
Why are you looking at me?
There's only 2 throats to cut, and I
Well,
think
you only
I think
looked at
Andrew
me.
could
You
beat me
can
up.
cut. Well, not at your current weight. You're above my weight class.
Andrew, stop it. Thank you so much for listening to episode 3 of the Reality Wagon Bachelor podcast. Oh my goodness. This has been a pleasure. Absolute pleasure. As always, thank you so much for listening and watching. We are up on so many different platforms. You can listen to us on iTunes and on Spotify. On Spotify, you toss us a follow. That's great. You got automatic downloads to your device. Those downloads are great. That's our primary thing that we track. Our downloads have been great lately.
They have. And
Um,
YouTube videos have been good.
Great YouTube videos have been really good too. But if you want to go ahead, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, and that way you don't miss one of these videos coming up, dude. Like it's not that hard. Like you can see all of our beautiful faces. My skin is fucking horrible right now. This purple light better be doing wonders. Don't stare at my face. Don't stare at
It's
my
hard
face.
not to look at your face when you're doing the outro.
Don't stare at my
'Cause
face.
I know it's gonna be another 3 minutes of this.
I'm working fast. I was working so fast. On iTunes is another place you can listen to us. That's my primary listening method, but you can use whatever you want. And on iTunes, you can subscribe to us, subscribe to our podcast, Reality Wagon. You'll get a notification every time a new podcast is uploaded, and you'll also get the automatic download to your device. So that'll be great. You can take it on the road. You can take us to the moon if you want. And you can listen to us on the moon, which would be so cool. We're already in 5 of 7 continents.
Correct.
We don't have anyone in Antarctica yet.
Sadly,
We
the
also don't-
scientists don't like
We
this.
also don't have anybody in Africa yet.
We don't?
We are on every other continent.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
We are so intercontinental. I'm not kidding. It's crazy, right? Isn't that insane?
We're like American history classes.
We're on almost
American
every
world
continent.
history classes. We talk about everything.
That's
I-
insane,
We're
right?
everywhere but
yeah,
Africa.
that is insane. I remember when we first got it, it was like somewhere in Poland. And
Yeah, we got like one
what?
Polish listener. Nope. Now we have a regular UK listener. You know who you are.
Yep.
Thank you so much. I don't know who you are,
Coys.
but you know who we are. But yeah, so definitely subscribe to us on iTunes. That works too. We are also up on YouTube. That's at ANMC Studios. That's our YouTube channel. That's Aaron, Nancy, Michael, Charles Studios. You can go ahead and listen to us there, watch us there, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's crazy. Like and comment on the video. Let us know how we're doing. Please don't say I look fat. I will not. I will delete your comment. I will
That's
do
how
it.
everybody's
I
going to
would-
call you fat. You shouldn't have said anything.
No, listen, if you comment on the channel, I probably won't delete it because I'll just be so glad that we got some comments. But yeah, so definitely engage with us there as well. You can also, like, we're very active on social media. Didn't live tweet that much this episode. Could have live tweeted a lot more. I'll figure it out next episode to keep a nice balance because I actually took show notes because we actually talked about The Bachelor this time.
Yes, we did.
We didn't talk about The Bachelor at all last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for the podcast, Twitter, it's at Reality Wagon the podcast. Instagram at Reality Wagon. We'll have our tiers up on Instagram and on Twitter. We will have the podcast when it comes out. We'll have some other. We'll have a poll. You can vote on who had the best tier. That'll be up on our Twitter. So definitely engage with us there. Let me know what you think.
Vote Spencer.
Follow us. Don't go ahead and stump for votes now, because if anyone listened to an hour and a half, I mean, I doubt it. But yeah, so
Don't doubt our abilities.
listen. All right, cool. Yeah, so thank you very much for listening, watching, absorbing our content on this episode of the Reality Wagon Bachelor podcast. My name is Anthony,
My name is Andrew.
My name is Spencer.
and we'll talk to you guys later.
Later.